You are loving the results from your weight loss shot, but a little worried about muscle loss? No worries. We are here to share how these shots are best served with strength training and a side of broccoli. I just learned today 12% of Americans are on a GLP-1 of some sort. So Meriden Zerner is the expert for this. We figured, gosh, 12% of people, that means that a lot of people themselves or maybe family members are using these medications for, their health and wellness in some capacity. And they're probably not getting all the help they need. Meriden Zerner is a registered dietitian at Cooper Clinic. Okay, I see this big old chunk of fat over here. What are we showing, Meriden? What's happening?
So these medications are helping people lose weight,
sure,
right? And optimistically, that's going to help them regulate their heart health and their maybe their diabetes risk, help better manage their blood sugar, all that good stuff. So they're losing weight, but I want to make this distinction. It's very important, what kind of weight are we losing?
Okay.
And so if we do something that's really extreme and really, really rapid, we're going to lose perhaps more muscle than fat, right? We want to be pulling from our fat resources. And so I think this is an opportunity, if people are using this medication, and it is a medication which can mean side effects, that we do it in a way that preserves as much muscle as possible, because muscle is metabolic, calorie burning gold. And oh, by the way, you need it to pick up stuff and go about your day. And you want the answer to longevity, it's going to be found in muscle, among other things.
And you were teaching me that what you could do is actually request a scan or a body fat analysis, that sort of thing, which is something that you all do here.
Yeah, my hope would be if someone who's going to use, again, the drug, it does lots of cool things.
Sure.
It cues the brain that you're full. It inspires insulin release from the pancreas. There's a lot going on here. But I want to know, what is your muscle mass to begin with? So this is just one example.
Okay.
So this happens to be a lovely little body composition assessment. You can use those home scales.
Yep.
They're not as accurate, but at least it's a place to start. What I want you to see is how much muscle do you have, because I want you to be able to maintain it. Now, how are you going to maintain it? Adequate protein. Sometimes people's appetite is so blunted that they're just not eating enough.
And I think sometimes those people are relieved. They're saying, oh, thank goodness, I've been hungry my whole life, and now it's blunted. But what's your encouragement to those people? I see you brought in some good protein sources here.
Yes, and it's kind of a non-negotiable of 3 times a day at least of about 30 grams of protein, right? That's 3 to 4 ounces. Some of my guys need a bigger portion, and it can be creative. You can do it through Greek yogurt. That's also a great calcium and potassium source. Cottage cheese, you can apparently do everything and anything with cottage cheese.
It's true, it's true.
And of course, the traditional animal proteins, right? I want them to be healthier. I think sometimes people are just eating fewer cheeseburgers on these medications, which is not really the why of this particular intervention. And you're gonna have to plan a little bit, right? So if it's thinking ahead, you may not have much appetite, and yet I still want you to get in your protein.
Okay, so that can be counterintuitive. They're saying, I'm not hungry, so I'm not eating, but get the protein in. And then there's another component to this as well.
Well, and I'm always going to be pushing hydration. Some of the challenges that people are having and some of the side effects, it also blunts your sense of thirst.
Oh, wow.
So
I
just
have not heard
when
that.
in doubt, please hydrate. We need to keep things moving through the system, but because it slows down how quickly things leave your stomach, which keeps you fuller longer, you're just not getting that same cueing. So we also need fiber. And I could talk about fiber all day
It's a
long.
whole nother segment.
It's a whole nother segment, isn't it? And so how are we going to do this creatively? Some foods like beans and legumes will also provide the protein and the fiber, but more frequently tapping some of the big dogs, the broccolis of the world, the asparagus. Of course, I've got plums, any of the fresh fruit. If it just needed to be grab and go, I've got my little Texas barbecue flavored dry roasted edamame, which gives you that. This has been my latest, greatest happy place. Just ease. This is a combo of hemp, chia, and flax.
I need that.
This is a spoonful dump, and it could go in your cottage cheese. It could go in your Greek yogurt. You could put it in a smoothie, mix it into oatmeal. But an intentional inclusion, we might also be striving for, loosely, 30 grams of fiber a day. So 30 protein times 3. And then 30 grams of fiber. It varies a little bit based on male, female, size of your body, but that could be something easy to remember.
And we've learned that you have to work really hard in order to maintain muscle?
Your
right?
heart's a
Talk about
muscle
that.
too. Your heart is
Okay.
a muscle too, and I think that sometimes gets lost in people's enthusiasm to be like, oh, I'm changing. But we need to protect and strengthen your heart. Nobody's getting away without a little bit of movement. So you've got to challenge the muscle to preserve the muscle. And you know, we were talking earlier about the muscle work's got to be challenging.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you're kind of getting through it, you're like, woo, and on to the next thing, it's probably not going to be enough stimulation to either hang on to muscle or to add to it.
We still have to work hard. Meredith Zerner, thank you so much. I know that you work with clients day in, day out that are taking these types of medications. So how can people connect with you if they would like to reach out?
Yeah, we have a whole program supporting those with GLP-1s at the CooperAerobics.com site.
Amazing. We will link that, of course, at cw33.com. Hey, I say great tips even if you're not on a specific weight loss medication, and I always learn so much from Meredith.